What's going on, my friends? It's Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. And this morning we have a returning guest. Really excited to speak with Gary again. He owns a medical company, a large portable oxygen concentrator company that uses digital marketing for lead generation. He is learning the skills to improve his digital marketing capabilities and his craft. And he's been with Legendary learning these skills here since August of 2023. He's definitely a serial entrepreneur in the sense of doing multiple things and really kind of loving the art of the hustle, the sport of the hustle. And I'm excited to check in with him today and kind of see how things are going, what he's up to. My friends, remember, all of our Wake Up Legendary episodes are with clients here who have gone through our education, and we do the show to share an honest behind the scenes look at what the journey is like, what you can expect if you want to start a digital marketing business online in 2024. We've now done over 1,000 episodes of Wake Up Legendary where we've interviewed clients, many of which, all of which have success stories of their own kind, not all the same. But again, over 1,000 episodes of anywhere from 30 to 60-minute long interviews, giving you the good, bad, the ugly, the full picture, not just a 30-second highlight clip, not just a quick income claim online, but a full behind-the-scenes picture as best as we can of what you can expect. The exciting parts about this, why you should learn these digital marketing skills, and also why you may want to just stay with your job. Maybe this is not the right thing for you. Entrepreneurship is not always the right thing for everyone. So hopefully this helps you to get a better idea of what you can expect as you embark on this journey. With that being said, let's get into it. Gary, welcome back to the show, brother.
Hey, how's it going?
Good to see you, man. Good to see you. How you been?
You too. Been doing good, doing a little bit of traveling, and I forgot the show. Well, I didn't forget the show, but I forgot I was going to be in Colorado the day we scheduled. I'm like, oh no, I don't get up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Digital marketing was the reason I decided to do so I can get up anytime I want. But
There you go. There you go. Well, thanks for, finding a time that you could come on, and hopefully you're well rested this morning. I'm feeling pretty rested myself, which is not always the case, but I am today. And so talk to us about, for those who don't know your story, what brought you into kind of Legendary and wanting to learn or improve your digital marketing skills back in August of 2023.
So I've always wanted to sell digital products. I've been in digital marketing for a long time, but I've always known how to do it through e-commerce. And I've had businesses where I've built them pretty big. As you know, I own a portable oxygen concentrator company that does really well. And it's all done through digital marketing. And it's a lot of overhead. I have a lot of salespeople. I have a lot of staff. And I wanted to do something that I can do on my own, where I didn't have to rely on all this overhead and through digital products. So that's what kind of led me to Legendary. And now I'm taking those skills that you taught me through Legendary. I'm actually putting them into my digital marketing for medical now. That's what I was telling Joanne just a little bit ago. So what brought me here, I guess, would be more income. I like to have more income streams, just for security reasons. You just never know when one is going to go down, so you have the other. And you've taught me that I could make income pretty much in any niche. And is that the way you say it, niche or niche?
Yeah, niche, tomato, it's all the same.
Yeah. So now I'm actually using those same techniques that you showed me in the medical field, and it's not for selling medical equipment. I'm becoming an affiliate for people in that niche, older people that need oxygen. So I'm now offering them affiliate products without actually selling the product to the same list now. So I thank you for that too.
Well, hey man, thank you for implementing the skills. It's just as much, it's just as hard to implement or harder than it is to teach. I know that because I have implemented as I've learned over the years, and so congrats on that.
Thanks.
I feel like that's really the first place that people should look when they're developing these skill sets is where in my existing business or my existing job, even if I have a job and I'm working my way up or to wherever I want to end up. How can I utilize these skills with what I'm already doing to improve what I'm already doing
Right.
before I go and start figuring out what other businesses I can launch? Do you feel like that's been a huge? I mean, do you agree with that? And what is your advice to people who are overlooking some of the hidden opportunities that they could be capitalizing on with just simply generating leads? For example, my best bud owns a windshield company,
Right.
and he prospected leads and got customers through knocking on doors for the longest time. Well, he started to learn these digital marketing skills. And of course, during the pandemic, knocking on people's doors was not cool, right? They would not open the door for you. So you
Yeah.
were not selling that many windows. So he learned how to generate leads online. And so
Right.
now he became the hunted rather than the hunter.
Right.
That's an example of what I'm talking about. How many people are overlooking this in their traditional businesses?
Right. So I'm glad you said that because I think maybe I'm a little slow. I think I should have done that first. I went into the make money online niche because I make money online, so I have a lot of experience to share from my past.
Yeah.
But it was only a couple months ago I was like, why am I not using those same techniques in something I'm spending all this money on? Because I'm actually spending money to get leads for my oxygen company.
Yeah.
And when I say spending money, I spend, it cost me probably $60, $70 for every single lead.
Mm.
Well, I started putting the techniques in play that you teach in your course, and I get anywhere between, I don't know, you get a slow day where you only get 5 or 10 leads, but I've gotten a viral video where I'll get 100, 200 leads that I get for free, and these are all people with like COPD and people that need that service. So yeah, I would have to say that you do get a lot of people knocking on your door when you can show value. And I can show a lot of value when it comes to oxygen and COPD because it's something I've done since the early 2000s. So yeah, I think for people that are watching, the first thing you really want to do is, what's my experience? What have I done all my life? What do I have a passion for? And I really do. I don't know if I told you this on any other of the other shows, but my father had passed away at 46 years old from smoking cigarettes, and he had lung cancer. So that's the passion that I really get for helping other people to get rid of those big green tanks that they're lugging around, and get a portable oxygen concentrator, which actually makes life a lot easier for them. So it's a passion.
And I know, and I'm sorry to hear about your father. It's a tough loss, way too young. My father was in the hospital last year, and I'm familiar with those big green tanks.
Yeah.
My father has COPD. He made it out of the hospital. He was in for 88 days. He had a heart surgery with complications. He wasn't able to get off the ventilator because he also is an ex-smoker, so
Right.
he had weak lungs. And because he was sort of incapacitated from the surgery and the complications from the surgery, he had difficulties with his lungs. So he ended up leaving the hospital with one of those big green tanks.
Yeah.
It was quite a quite something, something to have to lug that around when he was hardly strong enough to walk.
Right.
So yes, just sharing my personal experience with that. That's a great business and an awesome business to get more information into people who need other options besides, if you can give them another option besides lugging around the tank. I know what you're talking about, the portable oxygen machines. They're kind of a bag that you sort of wear. He ended up getting
Yeah, exactly.
well. Um, And that's a great thing. And most of you have businesses that you originally, or some of you have businesses that you originally started because you had a passion for it. And the reason why you lost your passion for it, or the reason why you're frustrated with the business, is not because you don't believe in the solution anymore. It's because you're not able to help enough people because you're not getting enough leads.
That's exactly right.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, because there are days where it's like, is it over?
Yeah.
It's a roller coaster ride, but that's why you need more than one stream of leads, right? You have to go out there and you got to find not just Google search, which I was using before I met you, but now social media and even blogging. There's other ways to reach people to bring that traffic to your main site, and that's what I'm doing now.
And also build an email list and be able to follow up with those people, and then start to monetize your data. You can monetize your data. Your data is those email lists, those names and email lists. You can also collect phone number. You can collect address. You can collect whatever you need. If you're going to email them, if you're going to call them, if you're going to send them something in the mail, you collect whatever information you want. But the basic is just email, because despite what you might have heard on the internet, everybody listening, email's not going away.
No.
Every customer, or every website where you create an account, or you open, you buy something, they make you enter your email. You reset your password with your email. I mean, this is not going away. So collecting email addresses for any business, doesn't matter whether you're selling windshields, whether you're selling portable. This is just a great physical product example of how these digital marketing skills apply even to a physical product business that is about as simple in terms of just, okay, I'm selling these devices. It doesn't get any more clear than that. And typically that's all done offline, traditional brick and mortar, wait for somebody to walk in. But nowadays, people, especially if they have, you got to think about your customer. If they have COPD, and I think at this point, everybody's customers are doing this some of the day.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if they have COPD, you think about it, they're probably not out driving around town.
No.
Right? They're sort of stationary, and either they or a family member of theirs is potentially looking at things on the internet. And here comes your ad with something of value, something free, something educational, some sort of a special offer where they can take a first step to get some information. Now all of a sudden you've got their email, you make them a special offer, and in business begins to happen. Solutions begin to happen, both for your business and for their life. It's a beautiful thing. Welcome to 2024.
Right. Yeah, talking about email, like we give away things for free, and that's what you want to do in exchange for an email address. And we do travel guides, and when weather changes and things for COPD that people want to know. But when you say the importance of email, when we first started the business, we didn't use email marketing. We just waited for the phone to ring, and we did okay. It was early 2000s.
Yeah.
Okay. But really, once we started collecting email addresses, you realize that when people come to your site, maybe you get 1% of the people that actually purchase right away. But if you continue to nurture them through email and show that you know what you're talking about, I mean, that 10 times our business once we started doing that. So email, for you guys that are not sure, email is probably one of the most important avenues to keep in touch with your client.
Yeah. And how many businesses, I mean, you just kind of laughed and said early 2000s, but how many businesses today are still waiting for the phone to ring? I mean, just sitting around doing archaic, white and yellow page or ads in various flyers around town, even networking. And that same buddy is a network that I was just talking about, is a networking master too. He worked his way up into the BNI organization of networking. And even once you work through, for those of you who don't know what that is, it's an organization that has chapters to where there's a different profession. Only one of each profession is in
Right.
that particular chapter. And so then you use, if somebody needs a dentist, hey, well, there's one dentist in your chapter. You refer. Now, at a certain point, you may even run out of leads in there. So
Right.
it's about, what I think that people don't realize is that the real way to bulletproof your business and bulletproof your income and wealth is not to have multiple streams of income. That is important. But the way to bulletproof a business is to have multiple sources of leads.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, now it's Facebook, it's Instagram, it's TikTok, it's websites. I mean, we're even doing blogging. I have writers that I actually, if you don't want to write yourself, I've actually found great writers on Fiverr. It'll
Mhm.
cost me $40 to get a really good blog post that I add to my site. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm always trying to look for other sources to have leads coming into what I call my hub, which
Yeah.
would be either my funnel that I'm starting or into my website.
Yeah. Now you've also, as you mentioned, have launched a online business in the make money online niche, the online business niche. You're marketing digital products. You're an
Yeah.
affiliate for us. You're affiliate for other companies inside of this niche or niche, as we're both tomatoing it up. Talk to us about your journey of kind of getting into the online business space, the affiliate marketing space, and what that's taught you about entrepreneurship over the course of the last year or so, almost a year since you've kind of been doing it. We talked a little bit about your oxygen business. Now let's talk about your kind of digital products business.
Okay.
What's that journey been like, and how has it been for you in terms of some of the challenges that maybe you had to overcome getting on video? I mean, just give us a couple, how would you summarize this journey if you were to look back since August 2023?
Oh, that's funny. So, talking about getting on camera, I remember the first time I did my show with you when I started seeing some success, and I was so nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm on the Wake Up Legendary show. I don't want to say anything wrong. And I think it took me a while to really make my first video with my face and just talking, and it's scary. I don't know why, but it's scary. And I don't think you just don't want to look like a fool to your family and friends and stuff like that. And my son's a marketer too, so he was kind of laughing at me like, oh my gosh, you don't even know anything about Instagram, how are you going to do that? So with all that criticism and stuff, it's really hard to get started, but I just started to do it. And once you get that first viral video, and it happens, I mean, I think everybody probably gets one sooner or later. Once you get that first viral video, it's like, oh, people do care about what I'm saying. And I just kept going from there. It took me really, I gotta say though, the first few months, I did say to myself, what am I doing? At first it was like I didn't see much happening.
Mm.
And then after 6 weeks, I saw some progress. And, then probably about month 4 or 5, I started seeing some consistency. And I think that you just have to, I just forced myself to get started. And now I love being on camera. For the make money online niche, you'll see a lot of my 7-second videos because I've learned a lot that you can add value through copywriting and not just speaking on camera. So because I do run other businesses, it got to the point where I've really streamlined that 7-second video, and it really, really works. So that was my journey. I was scared to death in the beginning. I forced myself to do it. And I know you're teaching a lot with the faceless videos now, and that probably would have been the way that I started in the beginning. But now I don't know why. I just love being on camera now. It's like, I feel like a movie star.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like the big scary monster in under the bed or whatever, until you just realize that not only is it not that scary, it doesn't even exist.
It doesn't.
And actually being on camera is a great way to conversate one to many. That's all you're doing, is you're talking to a lot of people at once instead of just talking one-on-one. And
Right.
then you start to look at all the one-on-one conversations you've had and go, God, I wish I was talking to a lot of people
Yeah.
instead of just one-on-one, because nowadays you know, it's like I want to leverage every one-on-one conversation that I have, either record it. I want to, I want to be doing it on a webinar to multiple, because I realize the power of one to many versus one-on-one. Now, there's certainly a time and a place for one-on-one,
Yeah.
and people, when they're getting started, they appreciate one-on-one conversation and attention because it's what they're used to. But when we realize over time that we can both learn in a group setting, being on webinars, being on live streams, we don't
Right.
have to have somebody talking to us one-on-one. It's not, unless there's a time and a place for everything. I mean, look, if you have you're doing counseling of some sort, something that requires privacy, confidentiality, something of that nature, sure. But over time in your entrepreneur journey, you realize that a group setting is really pretty powerful. There's
Right.
energy, there's other people's questions that are being asked that you didn't think of yourself. And to be able to hear that feedback and hear those questions can be powerful. Also, from the side of the marketing side, to be able to reach 100, 200, 300 people, or to record a video and have it go out to thousands and be seen by thousands or hundreds, it's like, oh my God, you never want to have a one-on-one conversation again, because you don't want to miss the opportunity to be able to reach so many people. I
Right.
mean, this sort of advertising back in the day before social media came along was thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, to run a commercial on TV to get it in front of hundreds of thousands of people. And now you have that opportunity. Is it guaranteed? No, you got to work, and it's hard to go viral. You got to work at it, and you got to you got to master your craft. Sometimes you get lucky. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. My point here still is that the opportunity to reach all, thousands, hundreds of thousands, even millions of people from one video, from 1 7-second video. It's just, and the other thing that I love about video is that it never calls in sick. It
No.
never gets tired.
Yeah.
You never have to discipline it or fire it or give it a pep talk. You record it once, and it's like the Energizer Bunny. It just plays over and over perfectly, exactly the way that you recorded it the first time. It's literally the most exciting marketing breakthrough in the history of mankind. It's more powerful than AI, friends. It is. And it's right at our fingertips. We can use it every single day. And most of us just have so many people just have the difficulty of getting over that fear of getting on video.
And I'm going to tell you, if you're a salesperson, because I've been in sales all my life, reading presentations, when you walk into a sales place, they give you a presentation to read so you stay on script. Well, can you imagine? And this is what I really love about the business. You say that presentation one time and it is out there. It's out there.
I mean, think about you're right, traditional sales. You're doing PowerPoint presentations or one-on-one demos or whatever all day long. And now we have an opportunity to have a sales presentation, as you said, recorded one time perfectly.
Right.
And you can use it over and over and over again. And that's another huge, I had this breakthrough back in the day in network marketing, when I was doing network marketing. And it was all about presentation, showing the plan and all this stuff. And I thought, God, man, there's just days where I feel better than others. And my conversion rates are just different based on how I feel that day, because sometimes I present more passionately than other days.
Right.
And when I realized that I could just do a quick intro call with somebody and then send them a tool, meaning a video,
right,
and it would perfectly pitch it, and then I could follow up with them, but I didn't have to do the 30-minute pitch, my whole business changed. That led me into just pursuing digital marketing even more, selling courses, coaching, and events, exactly what we teach here, and doing it all through sales videos, webinars, and recorded presentations. And to this day, it's the most powerful discovery that I've ever made in my career.
Yeah.
And it will likely be, artificial intelligence is great, but there's some timeless things that will never go away and never not be powerful.
Right.
And even if you look at movies, it's the same thing. Classic, legendary, iconic movies, they made them one time and they get played over and over again. And you can watch that movie a year later, 5 years later, 10 years later, and it's still just as good, even better than the first time you watched it.
Agreed. And with traffic, I have to say, it's just like things have changed. So, I mean, I was back in the day where I got my traffic from little newspaper ads. Like I was running, 3 to 4 line newspaper ads to get traffic. So I just think it evolves, and you just have to evolve with the times, right? And what I really love about today's times is it has to be the easiest time in the world to be able to start an online business with all these reels and, with Instagram and TikTok and things that can just go viral and collect leads for you. Like you couldn't do that for free 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
No, it's in the reason why it's not easy for some is because we still are carrying our million-year-old brains in our heads
mhm,
that many of us have not upgraded the software in our brain. So we're still afraid. We still look at it as this big, scary monster under the bed when really we're all uncomfortable. We're all scared of it at first. It's
yeah,
new, it's different. You're seeing yourself on camera, you're hearing your voice. Most of us don't like that.
right.
That's not abnormal. That's totally normal to not like the sound of your voice or the look of how you're very critical of yourself. Oh, is that a pimple? Am I
Yeah,
really
you
that?
see it on my nose today?
Am I really nice Daytona? Am I really that gray? Am I really that pale? Am I
Yeah,
really that dark? I mean, am I really that skinny? Am I really that fat? We sit there and we overanalyze the hell out of ourselves. And yeah, you have to upgrade your mindset. So talk to us a little bit about what I mean, is developed as your mind has been to be an entrepreneur, which there's had to have been some mindset work that you've done over the years. What else have you needed to work on over the past 6 to 9 months in order to pursue this with mindset? What limiting beliefs? I mean, what's just something that pops out that you've had to grow? What area have you needed to grow in?
well, I gotta say that a lot of it is like you, just like you said, like that's what I was pointing out. I had a little pimple on my nose that I was like, I really got to get rid of that before the show. But
And
no,
I didn't even notice it, dude. I mean, you know what I mean? That's the point right there.
yeah. So I think the scariest part is you would like let's say to make money on online niche. I was scared that I was just learning I was just learning your system, and now I'm teaching your system. Like what you've taught me is the value that I'm able to give to people. But I was always scared that I didn't know enough, or somebody would know more than me and someone's going to correct me in some way. Or
Mm.
so I think the biggest fear for me was these, because the people say some mean stuff out there, and you just, I don't know. But other than that, I realized that just when I started learning from everything you were teaching me, I still knew 1,000% more than people that were out there that I was then talking to. Oh, that's my first hat throw.
I've just been so engaged. I forgot to throw it, but you deserved one much earlier. Yeah, I mean, isn't that so true? We really all, and that's a great description. You really said that very simply and clearly about kind of what some of the fears are. I don't want to be corrected. I'm
Yeah,
coming into a new industry here. I don't want to step on toes. I don't want somebody to come along and sort of like bully me or correct
right.
me for not knowing enough. because you got to be confident. So you're going to say things you need to say things confidently, but you don't want to be embarrassed by somebody who's more of a veteran or
Right.
an OG, right, in the game, in this industry. But what you realize is, wow, if I just dedicate myself to a bit of learning, or if I just start to talk about the knowledge that I do have and I'm humble about it, I don't have to be an arrogant ass. I mean,
No.
I can just deliver what I know. The realization is I actually know more than 99% of people. I know a lot more than what I'm giving myself credit for.
Right.
And I'm actually a lot more likable than what I'm giving myself credit for.
Right.
And that's the liking gap, that phenomenon that I've talked about over and over again over the 1,000 episodes of Wake Up Legendary. You can Google that. There's a little Wikipedia on the liking gap, and it's the phenomenon where that most of us experience, where we just feel or believe that people like us less than they actually do.
Right.
And most of us, if we try and put ourselves out there, we realize, hey, people do like me, you
Yeah.
know, and we're all going to get hater comments. But have you been pleasantly surprised by the reception that you've got from people? And how has that given you more motivation to keep showing up?
So yeah, it does. I mean, there's two things I like about my old business, or I shouldn't say old, but the one I'm still in Oxygen. I'm helping people to live a better life, to be free. In the make money online niche, I love helping people to see them get their first commission on whatever they're doing. It's a once you've helped somebody and you see a little success there, I think you gain more confidence in yourself too. So yeah, it's kind of addicting. Like I do sometimes I can't get back to everybody right away, but yeah, it starts to get busy after a while when it starts to snowball. But I get back to everybody. I was using some of the automated stuff, and I'm not real technical and savvy that way. So every time I was having a conversation with somebody, would throw out another link to my free ebook. I was like, so I
Yeah.
just shut that off. But yeah, you get a lot of confidence when you're sitting there and talking to people, and then realizing, wait a minute, I kind of do know this.
Yeah.
And I've only done it since August. And I got to tell you, I feel like a pro now. Like I was from where I know it's not even a year yet, but from where I came from to where I am today, I don't think there's one question that you can ask me that I don't have confidence that I can answer the right way, because I
Mm,
just feel like I've been through everything.
yeah.
But I will tell you, the hardest part for me, I'm 54 years old. And when you started talking about funnels and your email responder, like I had people at work do that for me. This I
Yeah.
did all on my own. And I
Mm,
did have to say I did use Fiverr a couple times to have somebody help me
great.
set
Great.
something up. But that is the hardest part for you guys that are afraid of that. Yeah, that is the hardest part to set up, but it's not really hard. And it only has to be done one time. So once you've set it up one time, you're just driving traffic to your funnel or your web page, and once that's done and you see the conversion rate working, you kind of just leave it alone. So if you have that fear, I really wouldn't fear it or let that stop you from getting into a business, because it only takes one time. And if you stop in Dave's course, if you actually pause and then do exactly what they say, and then pause and do exactly what they say, it'll be easy to set up. My problem was I wanted to get to the meat and potatoes right away. So I'm like, I don't care about setting up this funnel stuff. I want to learn how to really make money. And I was like, I'll go back to that. Well, now I got to go find it exactly where it was. So it made it more difficult. So if I could give you guys one bit of advice, pause the video, do what they say, pause the video, do what they say. And the next thing you know, you'll have your funnel set up.
Yeah, and then you can actually, move on to making money and building your business. That is building your business. It's sort of like the carpenter who doesn't ever take the time to learn to use the skill saw you
Yeah.
know, the circular saw,
Yeah.
which is kind of the saw that you use to cut all your lumber.
Right.
So it's like, well, yeah, that's a scary tool. That thing has, I mean, if you make a mistake, you could cut your finger off, you know. So, oh, I'm never going to go and learn that. And it's like, okay, you're never going to be a carpenter then. You're just going to show up on the job site, you walk around and never get anything done. Here's the good news about like setting up a funnel or, you know, setting up an email list. There's no risk of bodily injury. I mean, seriously, I know I'm putting it so simply and obviously, but it's like, there's actually nothing to be afraid of. If you were to be a carpenter, which is a job that many people are trying to escape, they don't want to, right? It was the same job that I was trying to escape. There's actual bodily injury. You could cut your entire hand off. You should be scared. But, you know, if you've ever been to a construction site, you know that guys walk right, give me that saw, you know, not even paying attention. You know, you'd think guys would be more careful if we could switch and people would be more, you know, more gung-ho about setting up their digital systems and more conservative and careful about running construction saws. The world would be a safer place. But sometimes we just are scared of things because we don't understand them.
Yeah.
But yet they're not scary or dangerous whatsoever.
Dave, I can throw up a funnel now within 15 minutes. I mean, I could do it on my own. If you just play with it and you push some buttons, like you said, there's no bodily injury. You just play with it for a while, and eventually you just learn it. You just do it and you learn it. So that was my scariest part. And now I've really, now I enjoy testing new landing pages and throwing new stuff up there and stuff. So
right. It becomes something fun after it's like any craft. There's going to be tools you're going to have to learn at first. And most carpenters, as they get great at carpentry and do it for many years, they start to then take on little projects where they just build little stuff in their wood shop for fun, right? Same thing. Not all, same thing though. You know, you build funnels, you set up email lists, you start, you know, it becomes something that you can do sort of unconsciously. And then you get into the testing. Ooh, I wonder what would happen with this. I wonder what would happen if I tweak this word. I wonder what would happen if I use this lead magnet instead. I wonder what would happen if I change the color of the headline. I mean, these little things that now marketing begins to get fun because you actually are not afraid to go back there and push a couple of buttons and test something that might dramatically improve your business.
Right. And what I really love is when somebody copies you, because then when they copy you, you're like, oh, look at that. So now someone's copying me. So
you should strive for more copycats, more haters, more, you know, more people that are wanting to do what you do. That's right. Get in. That's a great goal to have. I mean, it's like, then you're like, wow, man, you know, here I was thinking I don't know what I'm doing, but other people are copying me.
Copying me, yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like I'm a leader in this industry. I didn't even realize it.
I do love it. I'm coming out with a new lead magnet now. So I want to show, I feel like I've mastered that 7-second video. So now I'm going to put a lead magnet together of teaching people how to make a 7-second video. And it's great value, you know, I mean, that saved me a whole bunch of time when I learned how to do that. Yeah. That's more copywriting than actually speaking. So for you guys that are afraid to speak on camera, I think it's a great way, as long as you're ready.
Man. Yeah. And it's logical because a lot of people aren't able to play sound on their videos. Mm-hmm. And so they're just scrolling in a subway or at work or in the bathroom, or, you know, they're hiding in the bathroom, pretending they're going to the bathroom, but really they're just scrolling on their phones. And you don't really want your wife or husband to hear the sound going off for the kids or whatever, because then they'll be like, are you in there watching videos?
For a half hour?
Right. Nobody does that, right? Or at work, right? You're sitting in your, your cubicle or whatever. You're pretending like you're working on your phone, but then all of a sudden you have like some sound blast off on your phone that's
Yeah,
like makes it apparent and obvious that you're not actually working. You're just scrolling social media. So people turn their sound off
yeah,
and they just scroll. And so it's a very obvious reason why those videos work as well, is because people can read the screen and the
right.
message on the screen instead of having to listen to you say it.
Right. And I've also learned algorithm now, right? Like I'm a professional. So not only that, if you put good copyright into your caption and it's worth reading, people read it while your video is looping, which is now telling the algorithm that people like your video, and it makes it get more views, and it just pushes it out there even more. So
Yeah.
I really enjoy this 7-second video while it lasts. Things change, but as long as you keep up with the changes, you're all good.
Yeah. You're absolutely right about that, man. As we bring this in for a landing, what have you learned about yourself on this journey, man? I mean, you're obviously a self-growth guy. You've got to be an entrepreneurship. What's this journey here in this particular chapter taught you about you?
What has this taught me about me? It's actually taught me to stop being scared of the computer. I mean, in all honesty, I was scared to death of this keyboard and what happens next and what to do. It taught me, actually, I think it got rid of a lot of my fears. I used to see my kids on social media all the time, and they're always doing their videos and things like that just for their friends. I mean, it taught me that there's no reason to fear. And it also taught me that there's a lot of dang money out there on that social media instead of just scrolling. You don't have to just scroll. Yes, do it again. There's a lot of opportunity out there. So I think what you've actually taught me through your course is I was missing a ton of opportunity with everybody. That's where everybody's eyes are. So why wouldn't you put your business where everybody's eyes are? So I could just tell that you've gotten rid of a lot of my fears when it comes to social media and computers.
Well, brother, it's just exciting to hear this from you, and it's a great way to kick off the week, man. Thanks for coming back again and carving out time in your busy life and schedule to give back to our community. It's really appreciated, man. It's very inspirational, really, really inspirational, Gary. And stay legendary, brother. Keep up the good work, man.
You too, Dave. Thanks for having me.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you later.
See you later.
All right. All right, my friends, you can find and follow Gary on his online business, his digital products and make money online accounts. Start with Instagram at Gary.Luckner. Gary, Gary Luckner, Luckner, Gary.Luckner. Rockstar, man. For sure. Strong Ventures. You're a rock star, brother, to Gary, no doubt. Great show today, Dave and Gary. Thanks, Ron. Thanks for all the golden nuggets here. Lori, be a creator instead of a consumer. Facts. Elizabeth says she loves the 7-second videos as well. Grant, what's going on, brother? Solid show today. Appreciate the tips, Gary. He was on fire, man. He was on fire. He is on fire. Really a great example of what's possible. Samuel says, thanks, Gary. Bonnie, great episode. Thank you, gents. Great start to a great day. Look, this is a great example, Gary, this morning of what can happen when you get over your fears and just take a leap of faith. Realize that there's not really a boogie monster hiding in your computer. It goes from the bed, and when we're kids, or under the bed, to the computer when we're adults in technology. It's like, oh my God, there's a monster hiding in the computer, and if I open it, it's going to get me. It's really the equivalent of what we're afraid of. What are you really afraid is going to happen if you start an online business, if you open up and try to build a funnel, if you open up and try to connect your email autoresponder? Do you think that, the sky is going to fall, your computer's going to blow up in front of you? Do you think your ego is going to get bruised? Do you think you're going to get physically harmed? I think the only thing that's possible is your ego gets a little bruised, but maybe you just get humbled and you get educated, and then you can execute more because you'll realize that your fears were unwarranted. And now you're more of a master at technology, or you're mastering technology, and the whole world of opportunity opens up for you. That's what's most likely going to happen. So give yourself a chance today to succeed at something that's a little bit scary. Nothing worth chasing is ever going to not be scary. Anything worth having is never not going to be hard. Anything worth having is going to be a challenge. It's going to be difficult to get from point A to point B, but if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right? So push yourself through those difficult times, especially at the beginning, to overcome the fear of the technology, to overcome the fear of the camera. Anything else that you're afraid of, I'd recommend run towards it. Don't run away from it. Run towards it and just overcome it. That's a great way to live your life. It's a philosophy that really works. Is if I'm afraid of something, do it. Do it. Right? Do it. Overcome the fear. You will realize 9.9 times out of 10 there was nothing to be afraid of. There was nothing to be afraid of. And one of the most, I'd say, wisest things that I've ever heard quotes around fear, I think it was FDR that said this: the only thing to fear is fear itself. If it wasn't FDR, correct me in the comments. The only thing to fear is fear itself. That is a deep, deep quote. There is so much to unpack there when you really think about that quote. The only thing to fear is fear itself. My friends, have a great Monday. Let's have a great week. Overcome some part of your fear today. Let Gary's story be inspiration. Remember, you can re-listen to it right here on this Facebook page, or we'll upload the episode on all the major podcast platforms. I think we're on 1,002 or 3 here, over 1,000 episodes of Wake Up Legendary, and we're just getting started. My friends, we'll see you back here tomorrow, same place, same time, for another episode of Wake Up Legendary. One more for Gary. Get out of here. Peace.